Stephen, the badge will get the headlines and the kit as well, but I suppose this has actually been part of a whole bigger project for the club.
Yeah, absolutely. As I explained to the audience upstairs, we had a look at our brand and our values and how we could ensure that we had consistency across what we delivered to all of our different partners and stakeholder groups, etc. And as part of that, it became very clear and obvious to us that the logo was something that wasn't really working for most people, with respect to players, coaches, supporters and others. And we ended up, as part of a bigger brand review, changing the logo, and we're delighted with where we are. We appreciate it will divide opinion, but we've got to make some brave decisions, and we believe it's absolutely right for the future proofing of the club.
One of the problems with the old badge, you said, was that there wasn't enough that screamed Gloucester. How does this scream Gloucester for you then?
Yeah, well, I mean, the old badge, it just sat amongst another 1,000 badges that looked fairly similar. It was a kind of hybrid halfway house between the old city crest with a few rugby references on there. So we don't really think it did the job, and it looked like another 50 Gloucestershire Rugby Club badges, and if you took the name off, you'd look, Northampton, Bristol, Bath, all of the same ilk. And what we believe that this has done now, we've been very clear with it. We've evolved it. We've kept the lion on there, which we're very proud of, which has been on the crest for 140 years. We have got the Gloucester Rugby name on there, very loud and proud, much more prominent than it was previously. Cherry and white, which is the club colours, and it's on a shield which is representing the old Gloucester crest, the shield from the city crest. So it unifies, along with the 1873 there, for us to really pull out all of the things that are Gloucester Rugby, and looking at it, it's very fresh, very modern, it's very forward thinking, but there's no one that could look at that badge and not instantly know that it's Gloucester Rugby because it's shouting it at you.
It doesn't look too much, say, like the Leicester Tiger or the Premier League Lion or even the UKIP Lion then.
Oh, well, steady. We look, with any badge, if you've got, most badges have an animal, whether it's a tiger, a lion, a falcon, a wasp, whatever it might be. I'm an Aston Villa supporter, and in my lifetime, Aston Villa have had 5 different logo changes, all with a lion on, because it just happens to be the rampant lion, which was from their Scottish forefather, William McGregor. Absolutely, in the eye of the beholder, it might look a bit like another badge, but that's fine. What we couldn't do was to not have the badge that we wanted, because it might look a little bit similar to another badge somewhere down the line. But everything that we've done is around it representing Gloucester Rugby. So if you use Leicester Tigers as an example, ours is cherry and white, theirs isn't. As says Gloucester Rugby, clearly theirs doesn't. Ours has got a lion, theirs has got a tiger. So different years formed. So yes, there will be resemblance with other badges, but we're absolutely clear that that's very, very much Gloucester Rugby logo, and it can't be disputed, and it doesn't look like anything else, and you'll be able to tell immediately what it is.
How can this help the club as a brand going forward? Because I assume it's not going to help them win games on the pitch, but actually it might help bring a few more shillings in.
Possibly, but although that's not what this is about. I mean, the amount of money it's cost us to rebrand an exercise like this, with the videos and with the merchandising and with all the people you've got to get involved and the clandestine ways that you have to work around this, there's certainly no immediate commercial benefit, but this is about the medium to long term as well. It's about the future of the club and making sure that we are future proofing our identity, our brand, that we stand out. It looks great on the website, it looks great on merchandise. So, of course, hopefully, in the future, it will mean that we can be more commercial. However, I can guarantee you one thing, we won't get any more commercial if we don't start winning on the pitch. So, to answer your question, as part of a wider club review and us performing better on the pitch, then, yeah, hopefully having a new, fresh, modern brand will help. But let's be quite clear about that. Unless we win on the pitch, you can rebrand what you want, you can call yourself what you want, you can change your name. It will make absolutely zero difference until you start getting success on the field.
And you mentioned changing the name there. Lots of people were scared that the name would be changed. There's a lion at the heart of the badge, but it's still Gloucester Rugby.
100%, and we never even discussed changing the name of the club, and we look on with amusement at times when people are convinced that we're going to be changing our name to the Lions or the Gladiators or whatever else is. But it's never been in question. Gloucester Rugby is our name. We're very proud of it. We are, of course, the Lions part of the badge, but it's been part of the city crest and our badge since 1873. But no, we didn't once think about changing the name. And to be quite frank, people have been asking. Bristol Bears was obviously quite an interesting project that was launched last month, and we almost wanted to do exactly the opposite of that. You know, we're not relaunching anything, we're not resetting anything, we're not hibernating and coming out of a wood or whatever else they talked about in their marketing bump. We are simply evolving our brand logo on the back of a number of really exciting pieces around Wi-Fi and apps and pitches and new kits and everything else that we're trying to do, and the logo is just part of that, but it's definitely an evolution, and you know, the name change was never even considered.